In 1985, the world saw the Titanic for the very first time, resting nearly 13,000 feet below the surface. Dozens of missions have mapped its remains since then, but one section stayed almost untouched, the old first-class quarters. Now, 113 years after the sinking, new high-definition cameras reveal objects never catalogued before. Fine china, twisted furniture, hidden compartments, clues to the daily life of the ship's richest passengers. Before we descend into this rarely explored side of the Titanic, hit the like button, subscribe, and follow us through every step of this journey into the North Atlantic depths. Titanic's first class brought together some of the wealthiest travelers of 1912. Records describe wide lounges, comfortable cabins, and exclusive services rivaling luxury hotels of the era. Items recovered from the wreck allow us to compare those accounts with physical evidence. Every preserved detail helps reveal what daily life looked like for this elite group on board. On the night of April 14, 1912, many first-class passengers were still in lounges and cabins when they felt the faint jolt of the iceberg. Early notices were subtle, but soon stewards urged everyone to head to the boat deck with life vests. Today, as these areas are explored, archaeologists search for signs that confirm that moment of sudden movement. Life in first class included quiet reading rooms, elaborate meals, and walks on the open deck. Logs show strict schedules and services dedicated to wealthy passengers. By comparing original blueprints with what remains inside the wreck, researchers can pinpoint where these activities took place. Today, the sub records those same spaces, now silent and in ruins. Luxury cabins held carved wooden furniture, clothing packed in trunks, and personal items reflecting each occupant's status. Layouts varied depending on the suite type. In the wreck, these sections appear collapsed but still recognizable by their windows and interior dividers. The sub documents these details to reconstruct how the original environment looked. Finding the Titanic in 1985 revealed haunting images of the bow resting upright on the seabed. That moment marked a new era of studying the ship as an archaeological site. Comparing footage from that mission with today's images shows how much the structure has changed. Modern teams use advanced sensors and high-precision displays to repeat and expand those early maps. At nearly 13,000 feet down, extreme pressure demands reinforced equipment and strict operating limits. Each dive must be planned with precision, time, stability, and safe routes. The sub adjusts its position and calibrates sensors to avoid contact with the fragile hull. The goal is to reach the deepest first-class sections with maximum safety and detail. Original Titanic blueprints are compared with what remains inside to guide every movement of the sub. By overlaying old plans with live images, the team identifies corridors, lounges, and divisions still recognizable. Navigation is slow, avoiding any contact with the decaying metal. Focused lighting reveals features that confirm the exact location of each room. Previous missions documented China marked with the White Star Line emblem, light fixtures, and decorative frames from first-class areas. These objects serve as clear references to the ship's original luxury. Revisiting them allows the team to assess current preservation and note changes from corrosion. This helps separate what is already known from what remains undiscovered. Using decades of collected data, the team prioritizes first-class sectors that were rarely filmed. Maps show narrow passages requiring delicate maneuvering. Unstable structures raise risk, but also the chance of finding new preserved items. Moving forward carefully marks the beginning of the mission's most critical stage. In the deepest first-class sections, any movement stirs dense clouds of sediment. Sensors detect faint vibrations across the seabed, warning of growing instability. Visibility drops fast, and mission time shrinks. Every inch forward demands caution. To follow each step of this exploration before the structure collapses further, stay with us through this descent. As the camera moves ahead, interior walls appear hanging at uneven angles. Ceiling plates show signs of imminent failure. The team halts progress and waits for sediment to settle before choosing a new route. These signals confirm that hull deterioration is accelerating year after year. Titanic's steel structure suffers continuous attack from bacteria that consume iron, creating massive rust formations. In some areas, entire layers crumble with the slightest vibration. The condition of the hull reveals how fast natural corrosion advances at this depth. Documenting these changes is crucial to understanding how long these sections may survive. The next passage is narrow and lined with jagged surfaces, requiring precise maneuvering. Proximity sensors begin emitting low alerts, signaling unstable structures nearby. Any contact could trigger localized collapses. The slow advance shows how difficult it's becoming to reach preserved first-class areas. Moving through the central first-class section, the lights reveal surprisingly preserved features. Column bases, patterned floors, and stretches of paneling remain identifiable. The team records every detail while keeping a safe distance, as structural integrity is minimal. These areas offer valuable data about the ship's original layout. Among the wreckage, almost intact objects appear in the camera's beam. White Star Line china, sealed bottles, and door handles still attached to warped frames. These items match first-class inventories and help reconstruct the daily routines of wealthy passengers. Capturing them provides direct reference to life aboard in 1912. As the sub descends into deeper hull levels, pressure readings rise sharply. Operational limits appear on the interface and remaining dive time decreases. Navigating this region requires slow movement and constant safety checks. The team adjusts course and speed to avoid structural hazards. The narration reflects on the ethical debate surrounding exploration of a site considered a maritime grave. Even though valuable objects lie within reach of the robotic arm, the team chooses not to remove anything. Their mission is documentation only, preserving the site's cultural integrity following international guidelines. The camera enters what may have been a first-class passageway, but internal structures creak and fragments fall as displaced water shifts the balance. The team retreats quickly to avoid contact with unstable walls. This area shows how unevenly deterioration progresses across different parts of the ship. Sensors confirm that several sections are losing stability. The narration notes that biological activity and corrosion accelerate each year, reducing future access. Documenting the site now is essential to preserve information that may soon vanish. The conflict becomes clear. Time and decay threaten every remaining step. Live mapping and video feeds reveal a collapsed passage not fully detailed in previous missions. The structure remains partly accessible and may lead to an undocumented first-class sector. The team aligns the sub with maximum precision, staying clear of unstable surfaces. Every move must generate minimal vibration. Inside the new area, the camera reveals warped furniture, scraps of upholstery, and scattered objects. The layout suggests cabins or service spaces linked to first class. This section appears only partially in historical records, making today's footage especially valuable. The distribution of remains shows uneven preservation over time. At the edge of the compartment, a rectangular object emerges, partially buried. Its shape and metal reinforcements indicate a closed trunk. The camera moves closer, capturing rust patterns, latches, and external warping. Its location suggests it was shielded by gradual structural collapse, preserving features rarely found elsewhere on the ship. No known record mentions a trunk in this part of the Titanic. Its discovery points to an understudied sector of first class with potential to expand our understanding of life on board. The trunk symbolizes what the ocean has kept hidden for more than a century. Documenting it becomes a priority before deterioration advances. The camera stabilizes over the trunk as the hull around it groans under rising pressure. Internal alarms indicate operational limits. The team faces a classic challenge in underwater archaeology. Interacting with the object could endanger both the site and the equipment. The safest decision is to capture every detail before the area becomes unstable. A final approach allows the robotic arm to illuminate the trunk from multiple angles, without touching it. The team captures high-resolution images and optical scans for later analysis. Time and safety warnings begin to flash, signaling that they must withdraw. Recording without moving the item becomes the last possible action before retreat. Leaving the inner corridors and returning toward the bow, the Titanic appears once more as a submerged monument, slowly fading year after year. Recording these areas now is vital to preserve information that may soon disappear. At the surface, the sub is lifted aboard while the team reviews the final images. The ship remains below, keeping part of its story forever out of reach.